What's up, world? It's CJ West coming back with another video. The last video I talked about three things to help you in your life that have helped me. And this video, I want to talk a little bit about humility and how I got to where I'm at today. So it wasn't easy getting to where I'm at. You know, I came from being homeless for 8 years, in and out of jail. Just really didn't know any other way. Left home when I was like 16 and didn't look back. You know, I feel like that was part of God's plan for me to go through all that stuff. You know, becoming an addict at a young age, not making the best choices in life. I feel like God brought me through all of that to get me where I am today. Because where I'm at today is I'm very humble and I have a lot of serenity in my life. My life is very simple today. I don't have to do much. All I have to do is not commit any crimes, not pick up any drugs, not get into it with anybody, and I'm okay for the most part. As long as I follow that regimen and talk to people like myself, recovering addicts, I have a better chance of staying clean. If I move away from that path and I start messing around with people who are doing crime, or I feel like I'm not making ends meet, so I go out and start hitting licks again, then I have a lot to worry about, and then my life will start gradually getting worse. It's been an uphill struggle for me now, which is a good thing. Life on life's terms happened. You know, life happens. Life is in session. There is no way I can escape life. It was easy for me to mooch off people and be homeless because I had no responsibilities. I didn't have to do shit. And if I got tired of being homeless, I just get locked up and I got three hots and a cot, and that's it. And if they gave me any like a good amount of time, which they have done before, then it just gives me a little bit of time to get a clear mind as long as I don't get a habit when I'm locked up. But every time I'm locked up, I catch a habit every time I'm in. What was different this time? What brought me to where I'm at? What was my gift to desperation day like? I came into recovery on accident. It's kind of crazy. I woke up in California off a Xanax trip. I woke up in a rehab and I went to go leave the rehab and I started walking down the street and I noticed there was hills and mountains and I saw like the Sony Enterprise fucking sign and shit, and I knew I wasn't back where I'm from. And I kind of got stuck out here. So I said, just whatever, man. You know, I was homeless out here for like 3 years until I finally gave up because, you know, I could go to different places, but no matter where I go, I always follow myself. I always bring myself with me. My situation, and I don't change just because I go to another place. So I was homeless out here in California for 3 years, and then I just got sick of it, man. I got sick of all my friends dying and overdosing. I got sick of getting locked up. I got sick of not having a job, and I got sick of my not being able to talk to my family. You know, my family cut me off because my sister had passed away when I was 12 years old. She was only 10 years old, and the damage that I was doing to my family, it was killing me inside, you know, and for me to think about all those memories of when I was younger, while I was out there getting high, it was fucking painful, man. And it wasn't easy. It was really easy for me to just get high and do nothing with my life because today I have responsibilities. I have to pay fucking bills, and I have another mouth to feed, which is my cat, who I love very much. But my life is simple as long as I keep doing the right thing. Now, what it took for me to get here it wasn't the courts, it wasn't a nudge from the judge, it was just being tired of being tired. And I don't know what that day might look like for you, but for me, I had one pair of clothes, I had no food, I had no money, I had nowhere to go, I had no phone. Everybody in my life that was affiliated with me didn't want anything to do with me. I couldn't call my family. Couldn't call my friends because all of them had died from drugs. I tried to turn myself in. The courts wouldn't even take me. The jails were so full they wouldn't even take me in. I just gave up, man. I got myself some Medi-Cal insurance out here and I checked into a rehab. And usually when I check into a rehab, it's because I'm going in there to find a female. I'm going to convince her I got some good shit going on the outside when really I don't got nothing going on. I just get her to leave with me so we get high and hook up, and that's it. And then I'll probably end up robbing her, taking her shit, taking her car, and that's that. And that was my go-to thing every single time I would go to rehab. It was find somebody in there come up off them and just keep going, or just rob the rehab. I got tired of doing that, man. You know, when rehabs wouldn't take me, and when jails wouldn't take me, and when my family wouldn't take me back, it was a good idea for me to finally give up. So I did. I gave up the fight, and I said, you know, like, I need to change my life, and there's something I need to do differently. I didn't realize all I had to do was just ask for help, and people were willing to help me. People were actually willing to take time out of their day to come and help me. I know you might not understand much of what I'm talking about. Somebody has helped me get clean, right? Another buddy of mine who's got almost 25 years clean saw something in me and was willing to take me under his wing and help me in my journey and help me through life. And that's the person that I call when I don't know what to do. I call him every day, just by habit. And if I don't call him every day, I make sure I call him the next day. Lately, I've been clean coming up on 14 months. I probably missed like 1 or 2 days of calling this dude. And the reason that I do that, and I know it sounds corny, is because that's what it's going to take to help keep me alive. That's what it's going to take. If it takes just that little, forming that little habit to stay clean, I'm willing to do it. But there's more than just that. People think that when they go to rehab, they're going to go there for 30 days or 90 days. They're going to get out and boom, they're fucking done. They're changed or whatever. That's it. They think they graduate, but it doesn't happen like that. I had to make a conscious effort to change my life. I had to say to myself, it's time to put my fucking big ear on, listen to what these people are telling me, be willing to take the information that they're giving me, and be willing to apply it to my life. And a lot of that information was wake up on time, show up for stuff when you say you're gonna show up, clean up after yourself, fucking easy responsibilities, eat at a specific time, take a shower, brush your teeth, go to bed, make your bed, simple stuff. But it just felt so foreign at first. I mean, I was used to it from being locked up. Since I wasn't locked up, it felt really foreign to me, and it felt like, I don't know, man, like I can't explain completely of how it felt, but I knew that I was doing the right thing, and things just started to get better after that. And I'm telling you, if you were to take some of this information that I'm talking about right now and apply it to your life, if you have an addiction, and it doesn't matter what kind of drug, anything that it is, an addiction is an addiction. If your life becomes unmanageable over it and you feel like you need it and you obsess about it, to me that was an addiction for me, and that's still an addiction for me. This stuff might help you. The whole point of me making these videos is not for me to brag about how good I'm doing. Maybe that there's somebody out there who doesn't know where to go for these resources, because I was homeless for 8 years. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even really know how to use a fucking smartphone, dude. Life is so different out there. I had such a not sheltered, but such a small world. I lived in like a 3-block radius for 8 years. Walked around, boosted, and that was it. Got money, got high, and same shit every single day. Where I'm from in Florida, they don't let you have tents, so I was sleeping on the sidewalk on a piece of cardboard that was dirty as fuck, and from me sleeping on that shit, I would get infections all over my body. I would wake up with fucking roaches crawling on me, fucking rats crawling up my clothes, and I got comfortable living like that. I got comfortable being that person that was outside in the streets talking to themselves because I did 1 cc too many. It's so fucked up what drugs will do to people. It deprived me of having any emotions. It deprived me of having any relationship with people. It deprived me from making any human connections with another person, and it turned me into this fucking animal that was like ready to kill and destroy and steal stuff just for my fucking drugs. It's fucking crazy, man. Like, and if you know an addict in your life, if you know somebody who's an addict, try and look at them in a loving way. I'm not saying open up your arms and open up your house to them, but just understand that there's a person behind that sadness and that darkness, and they're just lost, man. They don't know what to do, and they do know what to do, and they're just stuck. Because I'm telling you, when I put one in me, it's like I change, like a fucking werewolf. It's like I change, and I'm ready to take anything down that I have to get my next fix. And that's what it was. For you to understand what I'm talking about, it's going to take a lot of elaboration for me on my part. So let me just tell you where I'm at in my life today. Today, like I was talking about, I have serenity. I try and practice humility in my life. This is how I know I started to change into a better person. Maybe a week ago, I woke up and I noticed that when I looked at people, I didn't judge them anymore. I didn't see people for what they look like. I didn't see people for how big they were or how small they were. It was this light switch that just clicked on in my head. And I know this sounds weird because a lot of people that are watching these videos know me from before and know my past and know my history. You know, I was the type of person that just loved to fight, and I was always fighting people, and I was just angry, and I was so full of hate. But the person I hated most was myself. I was willing to take my anger out on people because I hated the person that I was inside, and I hated on people because they were happy, and I couldn't get that happiness that everybody had. But today, it's not like that at all. I don't have any hate in my heart. I held a lot of hate in my heart before because my sister passed away, and as a kid I had a lot of unanswered questions. My family never told me how sick my sister was. They never explained that my sister had cancer. It could eventually kill her. Today I look at death a little bit differently, especially when it comes to family members. I don't look at it as a bad thing because my beliefs and what my higher power is, I know that my higher power has these people right now and they're in heaven. So I don't look at it like it's a bad thing, because why am I going to look down on something when I don't even know what it is, you know? Why am I going to be mad at the unknown? I was just so self-centered and so focused on myself before, and like just so obsessed over other things that I thought God took my sister away from me, because that was the core of my addiction, complete self-centeredness. Now you might have noticed I said God took her away from me, not from this world, not from my family, but from me. And that was my addiction in a nutshell. I always thought everything was about me. And I always thought people should act a certain way because I wanted them to, or people should talk a certain way because I wanted them to. That was the psychic change that happened in my mind. I don't judge people when I see them. I don't feel anybody should act a certain way. People are gonna act how they're acting or whatever. I'm powerless over every single thing that's around me. I can't control a damn thing. And for me to finally accept that, it took a lot. It really took a lot. For me to even call myself an addict, I knew deep down in my core I was an addict, because I would put anything I could into a syringe and try to inject it. I knew I was an addict. But for me to understand the other aspects of my addiction, it was hard, man. And for me to make amends to some of the people that I hurt, that was even harder. But once I did that, I felt so much better about myself, and life wasn't so bad anymore. Life got a little bit better. See, my life isn't that stressful today. But humility for me is not having judgment on people. Humility is admitting I'm wrong when I'm wrong. Humility to me is, I think that pretty much summed up humility. But what it took for me to change, man, just knowing I was at the end of the road, knowing that I had no more hustle in me, I was just done. I'm glad I finally gave up that fight, and I finally gave myself a chance, because the life that I have today, I'm so grateful for. I never thought I would be here where I'm at in my life. And to some people, you might not look at it as a lot, but I look at it as a lot. I really do. This is like a dream come true. You know, I used to sleep on the sidewalk and people used to step over me just to get to work. And I would be so depressed and so sad that I would just lay there. You know, I didn't want to get up because I didn't want to live. And I was mad that people were going to work. I was mad that those people weren't me. But what I didn't realize was they have their problems too. That's another thing, is admitting that I'm not a psychic. I don't know what everybody's thinking. I don't know what everybody's going through. Everybody has their own struggle. People who are millionaires and billionaires have their own struggle. I know that money doesn't help a lot of things. Money is not a big thing for me today. I don't really care too much about money. All I care about is being happy. And even if I'm not happy, I know that there's things that I can do to help other people. You know, one thing that I do to really get myself outside of my head, because my head can get so chaotic sometimes, is I'll help another person. And I talked about this in my video last time, is doing a selfless act. And what that means is if you have extra clothes lying around that you don't wear, they've been sitting in your closet for a couple years or a couple months, you have some old shoes that have a little like small hole in the bottom, maybe they don't fit you anymore or whatever, take those clothes in a bag and just give them to a homeless person. I'm telling you, they will make use of it no matter what it is. And that's a selfless act. Going to the dollar store, spending $10 on some food, giving it to a homeless person, that's another selfless act. And these are things that I do, not on a daily basis, not even on a monthly basis, just every once in a while. But the thing is, don't brag about it when you do it. Don't tell everybody you did it. Have some integrity, and I promise you, you will feel some growth if you just do simple stuff like that. But when you start to grow, other people are going to tell you that they noticed something. Well, for me, people started to tell me they noticed something different in me, and I didn't. But just them saying that kept me moving forward, and it kept me going. Because there were times, like when I had maybe 30 days clean, where I felt like going back out there. I started feeling good again. I started thinking clearly, but my head and my addiction was telling me to go back out there, because my head tells me that that shit was fun when that shit was really killing me. My head will tell me that that stuff was okay. It's like I got fucking amnesia, dude. I always forget of all the bad times I had out there, and I remember all the good times that I think I had, like the good, quote unquote good. When I got a bunch of dope and I had a threesome, my head will go to that, but it won't go to the fact after that where I was walking around for 3 weeks with no shoes in psychosis. My head won't go to that part. My head and my addiction will tell me that that stuff is okay. I'm just trying to shed a little light, man, on this addiction stuff, because you might not understand the change that has happened in me. People know me for my music, and they know that my music was like real violent and real just like talking about drugs and talking about shooting up. I don't know, man. Like, my life is different. And for me to keep talking about that stuff, it doesn't weigh out to how I'm living. And it's hard for me to keep talking about that stuff when I'm not living. Like, I give that stuff up, man, for today. I don't know where my life is going to be in a year. For today, I'm happy with where my life is. And if you think I'm a square, fuck it, I'll be that. But I'm happy, man. I get to go to work every day. I get to skate every day. I get to hang out with my cat. I get to come home from work, hang out with my cat, eat food, and go to sleep. I used to dream of days like that. My life is so simple today. So I'm going to end this video here. If you have any questions about any of this stuff I'm talking about, if you need help, if you just need someone to talk to, you know, you can leave a comment, hit me up, or whatever. If this helped you, great. If it didn't, it really doesn't matter, because I'm going to keep making videos like this, because I know that some of this information might help somebody, and I'm willing to take that chance. I'm willing to take a chance on being uncomfortable making these videos, because all it takes is for one person to see this, for them to maybe get the idea to want to change their life. It's all it takes. And I know my music, you know, hit, like, my last song hit, it's at like 270,000 views right now on Trash Gang's channel, and I know those people from that one song still listen to my music, and if they see what I'm talking about, and they see where my life's at, and they're related to that music, then maybe they might think about changing their life too, or I might just lead by example. I'm not trying to push hate today. I'm trying to push something a little bit more positive. So if you like what I'm doing, comment, subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, share it with somebody who's an addict, or share it with somebody who you think it might have some value to. So that's all I got, my fellow Americans, and God bless.